And in 1996, she had an experience which encapsulates what I'm talking about in this first section, because we're nearly finished now. And it's this. She got up one day, she wasn't feeling very well, and she thought, well, I'll get on the exercise machine and see if I can work through it. She said, I got on the exercise machine, and I looked down at my hands, and they weren't my hands anymore. And then I realized there was no part of me that was me, because I merged into everything else. There was just one energy field, although she was still individual in her own way, because that's her point of attention. She then realized that she was having a stroke in the left side of the brain. And she went, she said, during this period, into a place of absolute bliss, what she called La La Land, where she was everything and everything was her, and there was just this incredible feeling of love and peace. And every now and again, she said, the left brain would kick in and go, you gotta get help, you gotta get help. And this is why the left brain is not a bad thing. It's a bad thing when it becomes the governor of our reality. And she said, what I did, she said, I got hold of these business cards because I couldn't remember the number to ring work and ask for help, so I had to look through these business cards. And she said, as I was looking through them, I didn't see numbers or words, I saw squiggles. And this was what she said, they looked to me like pixels. What's happening is her brain's not decoding reality as it normally would, and she's gone back one stage into the digital level of the decoding system. She said, I took 45 minutes to find these, to find the squiggles that I needed. And she said, I then tried to phone work. And eventually, she managed it. And someone picked the phone up the other end. And they must have said, hello, so-and-so, so-and-so. She said, all I heard on the other end was this sound when he picked the phone up going woof, 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 woof. And she said, I said to him, this is what I said, it's Jill, I'm in trouble. And all I heard was woof, 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 woof. Because the left side of the brain is no longer decoding sound waves properly, therefore producing words that we recognize. Anyway, another thing she said, while she's in this state, she said, I was released from 37 years of emotional baggage because she'd been released from the body decoding that rubbish. And she survived, thankfully. And if you go on the internet and you put Jill Bolte Taylor in, there's like a 25-minute video in which she explains in detail what happened to her. It's fascinating. The two hemispheres of the brain have very, very different ways of decoding reality. This is mainstream science I'm talking here now. The left brain decodes reality as a sequence. You see, when I say there's no time, it's understandable when people say, yeah, but there's a sequence of events, there's got to be time. No. There's got to be a way of decoding reality to appear to be a sequence. So in the now, the left side of the brain, it decodes and arranges information in a sequence. So we appear to be moving through what we call linear time. And it looks at the world in parts. The left brain decodes structure, it decodes distance, time, it decodes language, and it sees everything as apart from everything else. The right side of the brain is where we get intuition from. We get it from the heart too, but intuition there. It's holistic, as they say. It looks at everything as wholes. It is a simultaneous processor, whereas the left brain is a parallel processor. Now, if the two are speaking to each other, then you get the best of both worlds. If they're not, then we get trapped in the illusion of this reality. And this is how they do it. Where are the coincidences and the flows and the synchronicity taking you, and where are they not? Well, just go with where they're taking you, and bingo, they'll take you somewhere. The thing is that we make the choice in the realms of expanded consciousness that the near-death experiencer was talking about, and we try to understand that choice whilst in the limitations of the lens, the body computer. So we say, oh, I'd never have agreed to this. I never chose this. Well, actually, you didn't choose that at that level of awareness that's saying you wouldn't choose it. A much more expanded level of you chose it. Now you have to understand why you chose it and get from it what you've come to get from it. So collectively, why us? Why are we here and not other expressions of consciousness in this world called humans at the time that all this is going on? Same answer. You've already made the choice. Now you have to understand it. You didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it. Why are we here? Well, we're here, and the same point applies, of course. We made the choice to be here collectively and individually from that state of awareness, and we try to understand it from this state of awareness. And that's why the more we expand our consciousness while in the body, the more we start to understand why we made the choice, because we're starting to connect to that level that made the choice. And I would say we're here to help to break the spell. And on another level, we're here to experience this extraordinary time of epoch change. And within the virtual reality game, we're here to break the spell of programmed humanity and change the nature of the experience here in what we call Earth. And we're here to do it. I don't care if you sweep the streets or you work for the government. We're all here at this time because we chose to be here. And in this period coming up, as the control system throws its last desperate effort to hold on to its power, it will seem for a few years that it's actually getting more control. But it's the death throes. It will be a mistaken view that it's getting more power. It just appears to be. It's desperately trying to hold on to a control that is in the process of being removed. And in this period, we're going to face everything you can think of, everything they can think of to destabilize us emotionally and in all the other ways, whether it's vaccines, economic crashes, conflicts, whatever. And if we fall in this period into mind perception and five sense perception, it's going to be a very challenging time in this next little period as we go through this change. If we can hold the fact that we are consciousness having an experience, then going through these challenges is going to be far easier. There's a great line of freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. So many people are not free because they have something to lose, or they think they have. They have a big house, they have money or power or prestige. And because they fear losing that, they don't have the freedom to be themselves because they're fearful that they will lose it if they upset certain people by expressing what they really think, as opposed to being a clone of the people they're frightened of upsetting.